everybody, I got the kids into bed and I put all of our curriculum together, and I want to show you what we're using for curriculum for the 2021 school year. I want to do another video on the benefits of why we homeschool, but I'm going to start off with this to show you what we do, and maybe you can see like how it compares to what other kids are doing in your homeschool or in public school. They're all getting the same information mostly. So first off, we start with breakfast and we do a devotion. This is indescribable. It's 100 devotions about God and science. And it's just a lot of short, easy devotions with a lot of science facts and how they relate to God, which is what we like. Like we read this one the other day about the Titan arum, the corpse flower. And so then usually after we do a devotion, we have to watch a YouTube video about whatever we've been learning. Like we watched the fly trap eating insects, and we talked about how big the Titan arum is and how bad it smells, but it attracts pollinators through its smell. So that was really interesting. So this is a good jumping off point for our homeschool. Good way to start the day focusing on God and then moving into our studies. So that's a lot of fun. I really like this book. Next is probably my favorite curriculum for this year. We are doing The Good and the Beautiful, Language, Arts, and Literature Level 1. Level 1 does not mean grade 1. The Good and the Beautiful is a little advanced. So the kids are, Emma and Theodore are flying through this. Ella's having to slow it down and take it a little bit slower. Grammar, phonics has not been her strong suit, so she's going a little slower pace than this, which is fine. But it says that it covers phonics, reading, spelling, writing, literature, grammar and punctuation, and art appreciation, which there's a lot of artwork in here. I don't know that it covers spelling as much as I would like it to. I've been looking at Spelling Workout, All About Spelling, or Soaring with Spelling as a spelling program, but I haven't committed to any of them yet. We've just been doing the spelling in here. See, it does have spelling lists, and then it does have spelling practice. It has a bunch of fun games like this. So they're getting a lot of good information. It's a lot of sounding out words, making sure that we're getting those phonetic sounds down so that they can read on their own still. See, there's some of the artwork that they talk about. 2-syllable words. Homophones, BB, tutu, there, you know. Those are important. Writer's workshop, how to write letters. So yeah, they cover a lot in here. I really enjoyed it. The kids really enjoy this. Here's editing, that's fun. And ending sentences correctly. So this has been really fun. I really like this. It's good amounts for the kids to digest, but it's not overwhelming. And I like that it's actually all scripted out for the parents on what you need to say to the kids so that they get it. This is really good. Really enjoy this. And then it does come with a reader. The kids have loved these readers. And actually, The Good and the Beautiful has other reading sets that you can add onto this. But it's kind of like Dick and Jane illustrations. It's kind of fun. We like it. And this is a Christian program, so it talks a lot about God, which we really like. So we're all for incorporating him into our learning. So that's The Good and the Beautiful. Levels 1 through 5 are actually free to print on their website. I just pay for mine to get shipped to me. That way it's already spiral bound and I don't have to worry about it, because printing 3 pages off or however many pages off daily for each kid takes a long time. And I do copy some of my other schoolwork out of books, so I just pay for them to have it bound. So levels 1 through 5 are free to print if you want to try it out. The other one that we're doing is All About Reading, level 2. We had level 1 last year. This is the Leap Into Reading activity guide. My books and my teacher's manual are still in black and white. This is actually all in color now, which is super cool. So there's a lot of games in here that the kids really enjoy in the activity book. But the teacher's manual has everything scripted for you. So you don't have to think about what you have to say. You're gonna say it how the teacher's book has it for you. I like open and go curriculums. It just makes me more comfortable and confident knowing that the kids are getting what they need to know. It also comes with magnetic letter tiles to build the words and vocab cards to practice your vocab. I'm dropping books. This comes with 2 books. I just dropped the other one. These are really fun. I like the illustrations, even though they're in black and white. The kids still really enjoy these books. Teddy begs to read them to people. They're really fun stories. So we really enjoyed All About Reading. It does have a sister program called All About Spelling that I'm looking into for spelling possibly. Not committed to a spelling program yet. Really enjoying these. Ella, especially with her phonics and stuff, she needs this extra phonics practice. So that's All About Reading. This is Explode the Code. We just started this and they're almost done with it. They are so good. I really like Explode the Code. It's about phonics and spelling. So I think they've been working on 2-letter blends, but this is something they do entirely on their own. Most of their work anymore, I sit with them at the table, but they do it on their own. Like Language Arts, the Good and the Beautiful program, I'll have them do those with me individually so I can make sure that they're getting the concepts. And like All About Reading, I'll have them read to me, but all their math and Explode the Code and everything, they do by themselves, and then I just check it. And if they have questions, they ask me. We do about an hour and a half of school in the morning and then about another hour in the afternoon. It's pretty independent, and we get it done fast, and you'll see that we cover a lot. I mean, like, this is already like my 3rd language arts activity. So Explode the Code 2, we're almost done. What we're halfway done with, over halfway. So we'll do 2.5 and then 3, and we'll just keep plugging along through the books. So these are really fun. The one that Marshall's doing has riddles in it. So I don't know. It kind of starts it off fun, and the kids just keep going, and I like that they can do it independently. So this is a book that I've been copying pages out of. It's Evan Moore, Language Fundamentals, Grade 2. So it's pretty heavy. It's some heavy topics, I should say, that I've been having a time with, kind of. Like, we've been talking about making nouns plural, but there's tricky nouns that you can't just add S to, you have to add ES, or if it ends in Y, you have to change it to IES. So this has been good practice. Here, this is our changing Y to IES when you make the noun plural. So this has been good, and it's just a lot of the rules that you need to know. But then it does go into vocabulary, punctuation, abbreviations, capitalization, sentences, prepositions, adverbs, verbs, adjectives, pronouns. But because it's pretty short lessons, the kids don't get overwhelmed with it. And if they can't remember every time to change the Y to IES, like, it's just gonna be a practice thing. So, but this is just a good introduction to these concepts and for me to build on. So, but I only bought one of these books and then I just make copies out of it. They're pretty cheap. I think this was like 11 bucks. So, not bad. Oh, I did want to say that I use a lot of library books for language arts. Like, we read just a ton to get those skills down. I know these have been some fun ones. They're from S4 and Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown. And to keep especially Ella, to keep going, or even Theodore, like, she'll read a page and then I'll read a page, and she'll read a page and I'll read a page. That way she doesn't get burnt out. But these are good chapter books that we've been working on. Some illustrations, some trickier words. I don't know, they've been fun. Like, we just get a lot of library books. I do buy books, but we're at the library like every week. So the Little Bear Treasury, Captain Underpants has been so fun because it's got the comic strips in there that the kids have been having fun reading. Here's another graphic novel. Like, that's just the kind of thing that just the kids crack up about, you know? It's so much fun. I love it when they read to me. I love it. So I did get this writer's toolbox because I do want to work on creative writing this year. So this is a writer's toolbox, and it says learn how to write letters, fairy tales, scary stories, journals, poems, and reports. And it has a lot of really good step-by-step how you're supposed to write stuff. Like talking about characters, settings, plot, topic sentence. making sure you're researching from reputable sites, you know, things like that. So and then they have good examples in here. So really enjoyed that. It's been a good resource even for me, but it's kind of in like storybook form, so it's easy for the kids to get to. So I really liked that. This is another Usborne book, my first story writing book. We did one out of here if I can find it. We did this page the other day. I just copied it, and they had to pick one of these characters, and then here were the writing prompts. And so what we did is they picked a character, we went off the writing prompts, and then they told me what they wanted to do, like this morning and then I wrote it down for them. That way, you know, with little kids, their brains think faster than their hand can write. So I wrote it down for them, and then I printed off blank comic pages with speech bubbles, and so they had to illustrate their story with their person, their character, and they had to write words in the speech bubble, and then I had them copy the story they told me in their own handwriting. That way it was actually in their own handwriting. Their comics were awesome. Such good drawing, and they had put a lot of thought into it in detail. So that's good, because that's kind of where we're at the point of how can we add more adjectives and detail to this. So that's been really good. So there's just a lot of fun writing activities in here for them to do. So I really like this book. I know that there is some writing prompts in here. I've been thinking about doing some daily journaling, like getting one of the composition books that has the blank picture area on top, and then doing a daily writing prompt so they can be working on their writing and their spelling and capitalization, punctuation, those things. I know there's a lot of journal prompt ideas on Pinterest, so I've been thinking about that. I did get the kids these books. They're like journals between me and the kids. I got the 3 oldest ones them, and it's really fun. Like the daughter writes a page, and then the mom writes a page, and then it's supposed to be a cool memory book for you guys when you're all done. But I thought this was fun writing practice, and they just think it's a really special book between me and them. So, I mean, I don't even think they know that they're practicing writing, because they just think it's fun between mommy and them. So, Amazon, love Mom and Me, and then Between Mom and Me, this one is the one I got for Theodore. So, I think that's what I had on my list to talk about for language arts. That's a lot. It's what we do. We have a lot of fun. So, I don't know if you've got suggestions, you can let me know, but that's what we're doing right now. For math, we start off with this book usually because it's a good way to ease us in, and actually the kids are really chugging along through these too. They've already asked me if they can get the 3rd grade math book when they're done with the 2nd grade one, which, yeah, absolutely. This is just, they love Star Wars, and so this is really fun, colorful practice for them. Lots of games, but just gets them in the mood to do some harder math, you know? So these are really cheap. I think they're like $6. I mean, they're not bad. So it says compare number values, addition and subtraction, word problems, 2- and 3-dimensional shapes, and getting ready for multiplication. It says aligns with National Common Core standards. So I don't know, the kids have fun. They love Star Wars. So there's that. We are finishing up our Horizons 1, book number 2 that we started last year. We're pretty close to halfway done. I like Horizons. It is a spiral math curriculum. If you don't know, there is spiral math curriculums, or Mastery are the 2 that I'm familiar with. I prefer spiral. We've done the Math UC Mastery curriculums, and they're black and white, and Theodore especially likes color. So we are going to move into Horizons Math 2, Book 1 when we're done with this, but I want to make sure that we took a little break for the summer, and some of the kids' math facts, they're not clicking back as fast as I would like. So this is good that we're getting those math facts back memorized for addition and subtraction. So, and I think even this book is starting to prepare them for some multiplication facts. So, important concepts that we have to have down before we move on, which I like. So the kids are so happy to be doing like 3-digit number addition and subtraction. They just think that's so cool that they can add and subtract those big numbers. So they do have a lot of graph work, which I like. They have a lot of time and money work too, which I'm happy about, because I think that Matthew C didn't have a lot of time and money, at least not money. So along with Horizons, we are going to start teaching textbooks. Not right yet. I'm not ready. I want to finish the Horizons Math 1 Book 2 first. This is Math 3. It starts more at a grade 2 level, but it does move into multiplication. So this is the textbook, but actually it's all on the computer. I bought the CD set. It's actually all online now. I'm old school. I like CDs. So I did the CD set. And it teaches the kids the lessons for you, and then they do all the problems online, and then if they don't get it, it tells them like why they didn't get the answer right, and then it grades it all for you. So it can't get easier than that. It's called Teaching Textbooks. It starts at Math 3. This is the lowest level they have. So if you want to watch YouTube Teaching Textbooks demonstration, or you can do some of your own like practice ones on their website even. Really cool program. I'm super excited about it, but I like them to do lots of work, so we are still going to do Horizons Math book along with teaching textbooks, because doubling up on math won't hurt anything, and they'll still do their Star Wars math every day too. So this is another fun book I picked up this year. We haven't done the Life of Fred math books before. Fred is this really quirky character, and you just go through with him, and he has daily life problems. They're kind of daily life problems. They're fictional daily life problems. But I don't know. It's fun. We're gonna try it. It's definitely not what I would consider a standalone curriculum, although I know some people do consider this a standalone math curriculum. The first book is Life of Fred Apples, but this is Butterflies. So I felt like this was a little bit more at their level, but this is fun. The kids think he's hilarious. Like it says how to carry a donut, and there's Fred with a donut on his head. So we're gonna do it for fun here and there if we need a break from Horizons or anything. So that is my math. That's all I'm doing for math. Those 4 things. So that'll be plenty. For science right now, we are doing Evan Moore Daily Science. We are finishing up grade 1. So, which is fine, because with science, I feel like you can make the concepts as advanced as you would like them to. So, like, even though we're talking about animal habitats right now. And animal adaptations. So, like, why does a camel have long eyelashes? Well, to keep the sand out of his eyes. Why does he have a hump on his back? Because there's not a lot of water in the desert. So even though these concepts in the book are kind of basic, we expand on them a lot through, like, YouTube videos and through books. But this is all scripted too. I like scripted stuff. I think we are gonna do the Evan Moore Daily Science grade 2 after this. And it asks, this is interesting because it bases the topics on questions, like what do we see in the sky at night? And then it goes into like solar system type subjects, you know? So this is an interesting book. I have been enjoying this. It's black and white. The kids like to color in the pictures, which is fine for me. So we've been trying to do a science experiment weekly, and then I just check out books or buy books based on the topic that we're going over. So like right now we're going over animals. So I got Who Would Win Battle Royale. I think Teddy's already read the T-Rex versus Velociraptor. It's fun, but it just talks about the different features of the animals and why one would win over the other based on their predatorial advantages. So these are fun. The kids like to see who would win. I got 125 true stories of amazing animals. This was fun. And then I just got like some encyclopedias of animals. So Ted loves to read through encyclopedias. So he would sit here and ask me about all the facts. So this is one of my favorite ones I got. So it has actual pictures of the animals, but then it has illustrations, and then it just has short chunks of information. So I kind of like that, because if we pick up a whole book, sometimes the kids will get bored. But there's our sloth. We've been learning a lot about sloths lately because it was in our indescribable devotion. So This is a DK book. DK's really stepped up their game with their books lately. This is a Smithsonian Animal Atlas, so we're seeing where they lived. Like when we were talking about camels, we are looking at how they lived in the desert. This has been a good one for animal habitats, which is really cool because we are going to make habitat dioramas like out of shoe boxes. So I'm really excited for that. Mitch is actually really excited for that. He's been looking forward to making dioramas with the kids. So that's what we're doing. This is another good one I got, the Book of Beasts. So, and it just has a lot of facts on mammals. So yeah, I just buy books to go along with what we're talking about. I do have this science book. It's a school zone book. And I have just been making copies out of this one. But there's a lot of fun like decoding. So, and this is very colorful. The kids have really enjoyed this too. Lots of games. This has been fun. I don't have any complaints about it, but this is more of a supplemental resource that we've been using. I also have the Christian Liberty Nature Readers. So this is a good way to slip in reading and phonics and grammar into our science. So they just have stories that are written with words that my kiddos can understand, and then they have questions at the end. So we haven't started reading any of these yet. We've been making sure we have our routine down with our other stuff first. But I think the kids are gonna like these because my kids really enjoy science. So there's actually 5 books. I have all 5 of them. They're fun. They were pretty affordable too. And then yeah, here's just another book that I really like. For if I don't feel like we should be done with school yet, because we get done with school so fast because the kids just, they impress me. So if I don't feel like we should be done with school yet, I'll whip out a science book like this, Nature Anatomy. I want to get the Ocean Anatomy book, and they have Food Anatomy and Farm Anatomy. For all you farmers out there, they have a Farm Anatomy, super cool. I love the watercolor illustrations. And then yeah, it just has short snippets of information on each species of what they're talking about. So, and it does go over like landforms in here, mammals, birds, nature. It's Nature Anatomy, you know. So this is a super cool book. I know that in the future, if we finish Evan Moore Daily Science 1 and the 2nd grade one, I don't think I want to move on to the 3rd grade one right away. I've been looking at the Master Book series on, I think it's Life for Beginners. They cover more in depth anatomy, botany, and one other one. Anatomy, botany, and zoology. So I've been thinking about putting a pause on that and covering those topics more because the science books that we've been going over don't have a lot of anatomy, and I think the kids would be very interested in that, and I have a lot of Pinterest ideas for activities we could do with that. But also, The Good and the Beautiful has science units, like an anatomy one. I think they just came out with mammals too, or zoology. They have like an outer space one, they have marine biology. So I don't know if we could like do a unit study with one of theirs. I don't know. So we'll see what the future holds for science, what we're gonna do for books, because I think we're gonna finish the Evan Moore Science 1 and 2 before Christmas probably. We're flying through them, but I'm excited. I think our next topic is outer space. So super pumped about that. Okay, next is social studies. Okay, so this is what we're using right now. Master Books, My Story. Master Books, I like them. I don't like their math. This My Story book has been okay. It's not super in depth, but it's been a good place where we can jump off of. So like we've been talking about our own community and like mayors and things like that, and like taxes, like, you know, the kids have learned why we have to pay taxes and what all taxes go towards paying, like our police department, our library. They've learned about our mayor. We've been talking a lot about, like, we drove by the Nebraska State Capitol the other day, and we're like, that's where President Trump lives. And it's like, no, that's where Pete Ricketts works. He's our governor. And so we've just had a lot of good conversations like that. This is gonna talk about time zones, different weathers in different countries. I don't know. I like the pictures in it. I like the images. I like that it has word searches. The kids have really enjoyed the word searches. And it is a good starting point for conversations. I don't know if it's just it goes in depth as much as I would like it to. Like I said, it's a good jumping off point. They have a My Story book too. We might do it. We are flying through this one pretty quick. I don't know. I haven't decided. So that's what we're doing right now. Don't know if we're going to continue it after we finish that book, but I do want to finish that book because this book was actually pretty pricey. I think this was $30 and I did buy one for each kid. I did buy this The History of the World, the Who Was series. So they have these Who Was books, and they cover like who was Helen Keller, who was Martin Luther King Jr., who was Martin Luther, who was George Washington, and they just cover different people like that. They have some fun illustrations. It's very much an easy read for kids, and it's high interest, so they stay on track. So I want to get some more of these Who Was books. Like we're learning sign language right now. I'll get to that. But I got the Who Was Helen Keller book. I have that one ordered. But I got this Who Was History of the World to go with them. And it's basically just a timeline. And then if you wanted to, you could get the books of the people. Otherwise, they just have like a brief page of information to tell you about that period of time. But I thought this was fun. The kids think this is interesting. They like how the people look. So it's a good book. I like it. And it's another one that then we can watch YouTube videos and get more information or check out extra books from the library. So with social studies with this age group, I don't know like how much you need to push. Like as long as they're learning different topics about Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Helen Keller, Martin Luther King Jr., like how much do you need to push the government thing or, you know, the ancient world and Middle Ages? I don't know. So we just try to make sure that we're learning in social studies, and the kids are learning a lot. So I'm gonna count that. There's another series called Passport to Adventures, and it's a social studies curriculum based off of the Magic Treehouse series. I've thought about that because we are Magic Treehouse nuts. So we love Magic Treehouse. And then you just buy stuff. They have some activities to go along with it and some questions and whatnot, and then you can get supplemental books to go over the topic. Like I think the first book is Dinosaurs Before Dawn, and so then you can get check out extra dinosaur books and talk about dinosaurs that way, or Pinterest ideas for dinosaurs. So maybe we'll look at that. I know The Good and the Beautiful has a history program. It looked pretty meaty, it looked pretty heavy, and that's where I struggle to find that in between of I want something that's not too heavy, but that's more information than what I'm getting now. So The Good and the Beautiful does have one though that I'm interested in. We've done the Story of the World in the past. This is the Ancients, so if we went on with it this year, which it's in my shopping cart, I'm thinking about buying it, it would be the Middle Ages, which is kind of cool for kids, because there's dragons, pirates, castles, knights. There's a lot of fun stuff in the Middle Ages, Shakespeare. So I am thinking about getting the Story of the World. It comes with this book and it kind of reads like a story of the world. It is Christian based, which I like. And then they have this whole book on CD. So I can just plug it in the car and I won't actually have to read it to the kids. And then it has activity pages so they can color while they are listening. And it does go over some geography. See, there's some geography. So this is like the activity pages, and I just make copies of them. And once again, I don't know how meaty this curriculum is. I like it. The kids like the stories. It is fun, and you can make it. They have in there where they have like extra activities to give you ideas for what you can do, or extra books that you can check out to give more information on the topic. So I am thinking about that because I think the kids would be really interested in the Middle Ages. And then they have, you can buy coloring books like this. They're Dover coloring book series. So I bought this last year when we were going over the Ancients, and it has the pictures, but then it has more information. So I can read the information while they're coloring these pictures, and I just make copies out of the books. So, and they're really detailed pictures, so it takes the kids a while to color them, which I like, and it's good artwork for them. So I have like ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, and ancient Greece for last year. So I can probably get some Middle Age ones if we do Story of the World, the Middle Ages. I don't know, it would be fun. So that's what I have for social studies. For like our extracurriculars. Oh wait, there's one more thing I want to talk about with social studies. I wanted to do a US study. I thought about doing countries, and so I do have books like this, the travel book, and it goes over every country and gives information. It has pictures and what the state looks like, population size, all of that. And I was thinking about doing every country in the world. I know that we need to hit up continents more. I want to make sure the kids have their continents down, and oceans probably. Probably want to have them memorize the oceans too. But then I was thinking about doing US states. And so I was thinking about ordering the Confessions of a Homeschooler, her road trip to the USA. It's really good. I really like it. There's a lot of coloring. She has like food ideas for each state. And then she just sends it to you in PDF format. And then you can print off what you want and what you don't want. And you can print off as many as you need. Like if you have 3 students going through it. So I was thinking about that and memorizing all of our states and capitals. I don't care if they have the birds memorized and the flowers, but I want them to know their states and capitals, especially because we talk about it a lot with my grandparents living in Colorado, or like my parents have been to Hawaii, or Mitch and I go to South Dakota or down to Texas. So it's good to know. Cursive. So Teddy started cursive last year because I mentioned it to him and he thought it looked super cool to be able to write like that. So he started this, and then I just ordered the twins this off Amazon because they saw Teddy doing it and they're like, we want to do cursive too. So this has been really fun. This is for confident and creative girls. So it has like encouraging phrases at the bottom that just to boost their confidence. So, and I just praise them because their handwriting is so good. That's why I don't make them do another handwriting curriculum, because Theodore's handwriting is impeccable. So I don't push handwriting. Like they're writing so much and they know that they need to write nice for mommy so that I can read it. So that's what we do for handwriting. We started Spanish. The kids have been loving this. So it's a pretty big book. I think it may be $7. So we've just started on numbers. So the kids have been counting, and they'll be ornery and they'll like try to count the objects in English. I'm like, no. Uno, dos, tres, you know. So there's a lot of crosswords in here. The kids like crosswords and word searches. But I like the illustrations. They're cartoony, they have animals. See, there's a Spanish name that animal game. So this has been fun. It's a good start. I'm pretty confident that we're gonna enjoy it for the rest of the year. We have also been doing sign language. So this is a pretty basic book. I don't even know if you need a book to learn sign language. Honestly, half the time I have to still YouTube what the sign would be for whatever we're talking about anyways. So I printed off the kids like the sign language alphabet, and so we learned like, hi, my name is, and then you sign your name. So, and of course they've been naughty and like, they learned the word we learned like toilet, water, things like that. And so they've been like being like, you drink toilet water. And it's like, come on guys. Like, I'm glad you're getting what I'm teaching you, but let's be nicer. So I also got typing. So I don't think you're too young to learn typing, especially this. It's like Mickey Mouse. So that'll be fun because we do a lot on the computer. Like we do reading eggs. We're big reading egg supporters. I love reading eggs for phonics. And with reading eggs, you get math seeds, and the kids would play those games all day long if I let them. It's tempting because it's a really good program to teach reading and math. So, and then with us teaching textbooks online, and then I have the Windows 98 computer with all like the Reader Rabbit and Jumpstart games. So we haven't started this, but we're going to. Pretty excited. I also got a bunch of coding books because especially Theo, he is a techie kid. He's big into tech. So I think we're gonna go and learn some coding. And I have been going through these books by myself for right now. Scratch is a free programming site. And I've been going through these by myself so that I can know everything before I introduce it to Theo and he has questions. This is an Usborne. coding for beginners using Scratch. So, and they just like make games, and they make their little, they're called sprites, do things. So this is good. Technology is becoming a big part of our world. And I know that if this is like a career that Theo wants to go into, why not start him learning it now? If he's learning coding when he's 6, 7, who knows where he's gonna be by the time he's 16? I don't know. So we're trying to see where the kids' interests are to get them to go that way. So I also have this, what your 2nd grader needs to know. So I just read this to them while they're doing art, basically, while they're coloring. It's just a lot of facts. It covers a lot. Let me see if I can find the contents, table of contents, and I can tell you what all it covers. Literature, poetry, stories, learning about language, familiar phrases, myths, world history, American history and geography, the War of 1812, westward expansion, immigration and citizenship, geography of the Americas, visual arts, music, mathematics, science, the human body, water cycle, insects, simple machines. So this is just a good book to make sure that I'm getting them everything they need to know as their 2nd graders. So, okay, 2 more things, I think. Yes, 2 more things. Art. My girls love art. And so I bought several different art curriculums. We're kind of going through them and using Pinterest. I'm thinking about doing some individual artist studies, and then doing like copying some artwork of basically what those artists have done so we can remember. But I did get these S-board cards, famous paintings, and then it has famous paintings, but then on the back it gives you information like who painted it, when, what is it made of, where can I see it, and then it has additional facts. So this is really cool because I think that some of these paintings are ones that kids should be able to recognize in a heartbeat. Or maybe my kids are just going to be trivia nuts. I don't know. Possibly. I like trivia. So yeah, I got those. The kids have just really enjoyed looking at the pictures, if anything. I mean, they're masterpieces. So we've loved looking at these pictures. I did get a couple other just books, resource books, reference books. So, and this is another S4 one. I really like S4, guys. I should just become a consultant. But then it's how to make your own version of that masterpiece. So, really cool. We love art. Here's another history of art for children. The story of paintings, a history of art for children. So, just another good resource book. So these are the art curriculums I used. Let me show you the one I don't like first. I got this one, don't like it. It was recommended to me, drawing with children. If I think it's boring, my kids will think it's boring. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep it on the shelf. I'm not gonna get rid of it because it might come in handy. I'm not gonna get rid of a book. I love books. But we're not using drawing with children. So I did get Making Amazing Art. This was like $3 and it's kind of fun. So this is kind of the main one we've been going over the 7 elements of art. And so we're still on line right now, going over line. And so I've just been using these different art books, and then I've been using Pinterest resources to do art. So look at that. That is so much fun. The kids love that kind of stuff. So that's Making Amazing Art. I think this book was like $3 or $4. It's a good art curriculum. 40 activities using the 7 elements of art design. Here's Teach Art to Children. This is another Evan Moore book. I like Evan Moore. So this is once again going over the 7 elements of art. It's another good book. I like this one. Good ideas. Tells me what to say. It's scripted again. Like that. So. This is another Master Books one. This one does have more information on artists in it, which I like. I like Master Books' images. They do a really good job of picking good images to convey their points. So I really like that. Living Art Lessons by Master Books. I got Artistic Pursuits. This is the last art book I'm going to show you. It's okay. I don't have any complaints about it. It's not one of my favorites, but it's good. Lastly, for music, I've got 2 books to show you. This is Welcome to the Symphony. And he just goes through and discusses dynamics, tempo, the conductor, but then you click these buttons and they can hear the musical instruments. So that's kind of fun. And then I got this, A Child's Introduction to the Orchestra. This does have some composer studies in it, which I like, but then it has more on each individual instrument as well. Theodore, all the kids are actually doing piano too. We watch a lot of YouTube videos on like learning how to read music. We really like that. That's helped us a lot. And our piano has like the little stickers that say what notes are where. I do want to do recorders with the kids this year. I think they can do it. If we can get more of our piano and music notes down, I want to do recorder. The only 2 books I have Marshall doing, because Marshall is going to Heartland for preschool on Mondays and Wednesdays for a few hours. He's doing the Star Wars preschool number fun book. So he already started it. So this is good for preschoolers. And it's Star Wars. He loves Star Wars. All the kids love Star Wars. So this is what I got him for math. And then I got Get Ready for the Code. This is like the predecessor of Explode the Code. And this is the one that has the riddles in it. So this is learning phonics basically. So there is like a homeschool debate on whether to teach your kids cursive first or print. I've always done print. I do like the idea of teaching cursive first, but we always do print. And then there's the debate on whether you teach your kids the letter name or whether you say, what's this? What's this letter? And they say D, you know? Oh, that's a B. What's this letter? B. What's this letter? F, instead of saying, what's this letter? And they say B or F. So I don't know. I think All About Reading does the sound. This letter's B, you know. So we'll see how Marshall does. He signs his name MH. I'm like, that works. Marshall Hubert. So that is what I have for his preschool curriculum. That is all of my curriculum, my main curriculum. Obviously we have tons of reference books and resources, but that's what we do. I would like to give another plug for Reading Eggs. Reading Eggs is the bomb. Even if your kids are in public school, they should be on Reading Eggs. It is awesome. Okay, that was a long video. That's what I know. That's what we're doing. So we get it done pretty fast. Obviously we don't use like every art book every day, but we do use all of the language arts and math. Those are the 2 subjects that I really push because we are gonna know how to read and how to do math. So that's it. I will see you guys later.